Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Yourself?
Absolutely fine. I hope family is good and friends are good. Everybody's good in the family, yeah?
Everybody is very well, thank you. And yourself?
Absolutely. Rocking. Top of the world.
That is fantastic. People like myself, and I'm certain you will echo that, say to them, you know, the past will never be a reflection of the future. It's going to be a new world out there. We need new skills. Leaders need new approaches, new thinking, and new mindsets to manage the future. And that hasn't happened here yet.
Yeah, that actually also brings me to what you just said in the last year's conference as well. And that resonates with me so well. I mean, I saw the video, fantastic, complete speech that you gave was on the overview, the insight, and the foresight. That has become very relevant today. Is because a lot of people need to have, the leaders need to have a lot of strong overviews of what they do, a lot of insights on how they can really change a lot of things around them, inside of them first, and a lot of foresight, how things will be. What do you have to say on that?
Yeah, you know, it was so interesting is that I was a part of a mastermind group last year that a lady from out of Chicago that was the leading in this mastermind group. And we were going through this disciplines of thought. And when I was invited to go to Mumbai to just receive the citation, I approached them and said, guys, I'm coming a long way. Can I not get an opportunity to talk, to make a speech? And thankfully they gave me the opportunity. And I chose the subject of, you know, the vision with imagination, not knowing how critically important all those thoughts will now be going forward.
Yeah.
Because as you say, vision is now what is critically important, but not vision that comes from out doing strategic plans inside with you know, SWOT analysis, strengths, opportunities, and visions and missions. I say to people, take that stuff, throw it away. Take the textbooks that you've read and learned from in the past, throw them away. There will be new challenges. And are you ready for that? The textbook never taught anybody about changes that come overnight so rapidly. So, and that is the biggest challenge. And you know, I'm developing a 12 module program now as a teaching program in terms of the vision with imagination, because of the demand out there where people are saying that, because I can't get them to move into the vision. I mean, even my background here, my virtual background is being up in the clouds, because I'm saying I don't want to be grounded when I talk to people into the here and now. My feet must not be on the ground. I must be thinking up there in space, uncontaminated. You know, it's like that eagle and the eagle on my logo.
Yes,
Free.
I love it.
You know, unattached, because we need to think at a different level, completely differently, and then we will be able to achieve. And yeah, so
yeah,
that's why I quite right.
I think you just got it right. A fantastic program at this point of time, which is vision and imagination, is so relevant and so important. And I'm sure a lot of corporate, a lot of business leaders will really, really benefit from what you're doing, Bertie, at this point of time.
As I say, the takeoff is still not as I want to. That's why I decided, you know, I've done some talks. I've spoken to network groups on Zoom, and just people going to people, Bertie, just share. And I say I can share, but if the people cannot make the transformation from where they're at into a visionary state, I can't help them, because I can't create a future for you if you're not willing to move. Growth means change. You must move away from where you're at. And that transformation in itself is not happening fast enough, I feel.
In fact, that also brings me to the yet another quote, yet another statement that you made in that program. And I almost loved it and put it down on my paper. It says, prosperity is equal to passion plus purpose. And what a wonderful time now to probably look at your passion and look at your purpose and have a larger, bigger purpose. And if you drive your purpose with all the passion, the prosperity is bound to come. What do you have to say on that?
Yes, once again, it's so true, because that's what I talk to people. You know, when I talk to people that's unemployed, for example, you know, there was an evolution in how one grow in business. I mean, you go to university, you study a certain direction, you say, I'm an accountant. Then you become an accounting an auditor, or you become an accounting manager. Then you become the chief financial officer, and then maybe you even become the CEO of companies. And many years ago, especially here in South Africa, the CEOs of companies, most of them were chartered accountants. So they were looking at numbers, figures, turnovers, profits. People were nowhere. People wasn't important, because if you need people, if you need skills, you just buy them. And if the people don't fit in, you just fire them. You know, so that's unfortunate. So people ended up being promoted, and they lose their purpose in life. So they end up working for prosperity. They're just working for money. So they've got no purpose and they've got no passion. They actually hate their jobs. So that if a company is full of people that actually hate their jobs, people that have no purpose, then the efficiencies and effectiveness of the organization disappears. The company might be successful financially, but when a knock like this comes, where people are the most important people, and you need to now assist them through this, help them, care them, share with them, and the people that's important to take you into the new world. If you haven't looked for them, after them in the past, going to lose them. So I talk to people about getting to understand your core skill, getting to understand what you love doing. In other words, define your passion and therefore your purpose, and the rest will come automatically. So the prosperity, the money, the job satisfaction, the achievements will come automatically.
But in
so
fact,
those 3 P's.
Yeah, in fact, Bertie, thank you for this. But that also reminds me of the one most neglected P in the 3 Ps: the process, the product, and the people. The most neglected P was always people. And most business leaders will only focus either on great processes or great product lines or services, and absolutely every marketing happening over anything as a strength or a feature that people had to sell. But suddenly now, when you look within the business, inside of business, the people function has become so important and so relevant. And I think what you just told us is all phenomenal, and this should be a great lesson. I think Mother Nature, in a way, has given us a great lesson to be able to invest in our people, look at our people more closely, probably groom them, educate them, make them learn more new skills and more relevant skills, which are more future-centric, and also taking us forward in business in every possible ways.
Absolutely true. And it's those kind of things, it's difficult. You know, I'm also a brain practitioner, so I very much look at people's brain from a left and a right brain perspective, to try to understand those kind of people and to help them to understand themselves in terms of how they make decisions, and that they should actually be whole brain thinking. You can't just think along the lines of cold clinical facts and figures, you know, budgets and profits. You need to address the emotional side as well, the people, so that you have a balance in your company. And those kind of things, to me, is not coming to the forward. And even though companies say to be Bertie, but you know, during after this corona, there will be so many people unemployed. Yes. So I can pick up skills, like picking flowers from a flower bed. They will be available. I said, that's fantastic. I said, but the people's minds is what you really buy. And I think it's I think it's some of these big businessmen have said lately where they actually say, I should have appointed people that fit into my organization instead of people that have the skills my organization need. Because I can always teach them skills.
Absolutely.
But getting them to fit into, to be part of the culture and of the company is the most difficult thing. Because with all the skills in the world, if you are not part of the family of the organization, you are not going to be effective.
In fact, a lot of responsibility is going to come to people like you and a whole lot of other change makers across the world. Now to go back again to organizations to be able to set up the right cultures, because I think the culture, the organizational culture has taken a big hit everywhere. And people are shaken up, people are confused. There's no amount of clarity. There's so much of ambiguity happening. And with all this confusion, a lot of hand-holding will be required by leaders, and a lot of thought leaders, a lot of senior people like you will have to come into picture now to drive people forward in their ways of understanding their passions, understanding their energies, probably also looking at a lot of things of the purpose. And I think one beautiful thing which I also picked up in one of your speeches was rewiring, your ability to be able to rewire yourself and move forward.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's a concept that came out of the retirement environment where people say, don't retire, rewire. So it's very much true. And by the way, I appreciate that you've read many of my talks. I also went to your website, but I didn't have enough time to listen to too much. But I read everything, and we will come to that just now. Yeah. But the whole concept of rewiring is also linked to what I spoke about recently, where I spoke to people about the three. I'm saying the upskilling and the reskilling, but also the unskilling of people. You know, that is important, because the rewiring is to get new zest in life, to understand, and with age, mostly with age, those kind of understanding comes, that we understand the impact we can have and the value that we actually have, that we gained out of the University of Life. It's not the degree that I studied 40 years ago, or even 45 years ago. It is what have I done with my life in terms of learning and appreciating, understanding. That's what we bring to the business now, and that is what people and businesses need now, and that's where the rewiring comes into. What is my new value? How do I look at my future and my value add in an organization, my own life, family life, so forth.
Great. I think that also brings me to one of my last questions, my favorite questions I always keep asking a lot of people is, Bertie, what does inspire you? Where does your inspiration come from? And what does kick you out of the bed every single morning? And what is that so inspiring to you? Please share your thoughts on
that. Jander, you know, what throughout my life, it is helping people to find their right spot in life. In other words, the square peg in the square hole. That they can do what they love doing, because if they do what they love doing, they will be effective and extremely successful. But that adds to the fact that, you know, so few people, I do believe, really understand where their values lie. It's all in here, but because of our upbringing and whatever influences impacted on our lives, I always say, you are born unique with God-given talents. Again, a unique set of talents. But the strange thing is, because of the environment, community, cultures, and whatever, most people take the rest of their lives to fit in, instead of being the unique person they were born in order to stand out from the crowd, because they don't know what is those unique gifts they were given. And as a coach, it is our responsibility
Absolutely.
to go deeper and bring it to the fore and say, guys, you are actually phenomenally unique and great. You've got everything to be outstanding.
Fantastic.
But for some dark reason, people have taught you that you are nothing. You're worthless. You're up to nothing. You will never reach any heights or whatever. And that is where my passion lies, where you can get people to see, once again, the vision, to see their future and their potential. And then you let them lose. And then you follow them and you see how they grow and how they become a better and better person all the time. I mean, it's almost like being a sport coach. You know, you take a person with little skills, you help him and you give him motivation and all those kind of things and self-belief and build his self-esteem, and all of a sudden he's a successful sportsman. Very much the same. That's where my passion lies. And if I can do that all the time, every day, every minute, I will devote my future just to that.
Fantastic. I think in my conversations, I always ask this question, and I think in some ways you've answered this, but would you like to add something more, maybe one more message to a lot of business leaders in this VUCA world, in this VUCA age, as to what they should be doing in the coming time? So your message, one strong message to business leaders, what should they be doing in the coming months or weeks?
I would want them just to, and that's not meditation, it is breathing. People just to learn to be able to just step back and think about their action and the words they use and when they use it. In other words, the old saying of count to 10 or even count to 100 before you respond. Don't send out the email when you are feeling emotionally challenged. Leave it, read it tomorrow morning and delete it. Don't send it at all, because tomorrow you will think different about it.
Absolutely.
But in the whole process of business leaders, just to understand the impact they can have, because they've built up teams and they've built up trust with people. Not always all people, because you're not there to please all people. You need to please most of the people. And you've been there. People are looking up into you at good and bad times. And you must take that leadership role and make the change start with you, so that you can set the pace. You don't have to walk in front of everybody. A leader can be part of the team. He doesn't have to stand out and lead the team. And as a leader and as a business leader, understand your role. It is so critically important, because you can change so many lives. Start with your own.
Oh, fantastic. That's so lovely. You can change so many lives and start with your own. Thank you very much, Bertie. That was wonderful. I think real gem of your own insights there, and some fantastic learnings there for everybody to listen to. Thank you very much. Okay, quickly, I think we'll shift little focus on this call that has happened. I really would like to thank you for this opportunity to probably, I mean, if you hadn't given me this shout out, I probably would not have even thought of connecting with you like this. But I think few things worked in the last 2-3 days, and here we are talking to each other. Great knowing you, sir, and wonderful to see a couple of your videos that I saw. I must compliment you. You're doing great work, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
So professional speaking is something new for me. I'm really loving and enjoying that journey. And I have traveled enough in the rest of the world for my business, but now I'm more focused and more inclined on coachings and speaking as my next level of love of what drives me next 10 years, 20 years of a time.
Yeah. And Chandra, your business, is that aligned now to that? You've canceled all your training now.
I haven't cancelled. The clients have cancelled.
No, but I mean, I find that even in the training now, there's greater opportunities, because we now can align our training to the new thinking and the new world.
Yeah, so what I've done is I've switched completely over online training. So one of my signature program is on resilience, because resilience is brain's ability to maintain good function in adversity. It's
Absolutely.
also learning to adapt to traumatic experiences and everything. So a lot of resilience trainings is what I'm doing for various of my own clients. But trainings, I don't know how far it will be very effective in terms of holding people's attention for a long time. So in a room, you know, we could go to a hotel or to a nice property, be there for a day or 2 day, 3 day kind of a boot camp, and, you know, train, coach a lot of people there. That was much easier. But holding people's attention on online medium like this is little tough. And the effectiveness, I don't know what the effectiveness is going to be. It's all very new, but I mean, I've learned the craft, and of course, everything is all ready to deliver programs. So hopefully, I think that will come back, but in greater proportions. I like to focus on a lot of coaching, which is thankfully happening with various business leaders, and also speaking as and when I get ready, because I keep saying I'm a speaker in the making. So I'm yet to get the craft right.
100%. You know, and the mindset is right that you are displaying to me here now. Is that speaking doesn't necessarily come after you hunting for speaking. People come to you and say, "Don't you want to talk to us?"
Yes.
And that is where the speaking starts.
Absolutely.
And that's the important thing. But I just want to go back to the training. I've spoken to a lot of people. You know, I've given organizations came to me and said, "Bertie, won't you assist my team, my people, my members?" And I have, in the first couple of weeks of lockdown, I've donated 60 hours of speaking to different companies, different people for free. Okay. But what it did teach me is that those 60 people, to a very large extent, had the same view and the same challenge and same struggles, and they were quite diverse. But some of them were with training. And even at that time, I said to them, "Guys, the view that I see for training," I said, you never need a classroom anymore. Because a classroom is therefore limiting you to walk-in students.
Yeah.
Now you're virtual. Now you're virtual, and the moment you start putting your program on the internet, you are opening it up to the world.
Absolutely.
Like you're talking about resilience. I mean, the resilience is so important concept.
Yeah.
For everybody going forward. But now, if you and where I'm involved with the companies, I say to them, before you had a classroom, just tell me, how often did you videotape your classroom session? And they would say, never. I say, all one need to do now, everything you do, and I think you've recorded this session, haven't you?
This one, yes. I'll come to that. I'll come to that a little later. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm very happy about that, because I'm saying every time we talk, we must record it, because there will always be another person interested in what we were talking about, and therefore in training, record it. Because what you can do now is, now I've got a virtual classroom with, let's say, 10 Samsung employees, but I record it. Once I've recorded, I can send the recording to them, and the 10 people can watch it over and over again if they don't understand and they didn't get everything. But next time I do the program, I open it up further, and I might get not just Samsung, I might get different companies' employees that sit in on the session. So the world all of a sudden is my oyster. Yeah. The potential clients is now enormous, and considering the walk-in students. And if I do it properly, I can do the program, I can teach it once in life, in person, and thereafter, I just press a button and say, "You want this training? Yeah, choop, you've got it. You've got it." I don't have to say it again. So the opportunities in training now is much more than ever before.
Yeah. Fantastic. Very well put. And I think the world is my oyster is a great line I'm going to take back
Sounds
today.
good. Sounds good.
And
Excellent.
I must thank you, Bertie, for this quick call. And I think this is a very small beginning, a small step we've taken. Next time, I think I'll pick up an opportunity again in about 15 days of a time. And we'd probably speak a little more on birds, because that eagle really at the back of your logo really is very intriguing me to ask you next a lot of questions, because bird watching is very close to my heart. But all that we'll leave for the next time.
Good. Excellent. Love to share that with you.
I'd like to wish you and your family safe days ahead. Please take good care and all the very best.
Yes. Before we lock out, I just want to say to you, Jan, that you are more than welcome to come to South Africa and even come and stay with me. You know, I've got a fairly large house, and I've set it up where people can actually stay B&B and booking.com. But being a bird lover, I just want to tell to you, I stay in the city, but I have counted 29 different kind of birds in my garden.
Oh, fantastic.
Up to date.
I'd love to have some pictures. I'd love to keep in touch.
100%. 100%.
I wish you all the very best. Thank you so much.
You too, my friend. Stay
Bye-bye.
well.
Bye-bye.